Hey everybody, welcome to Sweaty Hero Comic Bargains, and these are Marvel Comics Present issues, and this stack is specifically Marvel Comics. Now, I got a long box of dollar books for a great bargain at Rogues Gallery Comics in Windsor, Ontario. So you can pay $1 a book for some old inventory that he has in the dollar book section. Anyway, so I want to just show you some things I got. I accidentally got a couple doubles, but that's okay. Um, so here we go. Is we got Marvel Comics Presents 90 number 90, and Sam Keefe drew this cover with Cable and Ghost Rider, and it's a flip book, which has Wolverine on the opposite cover. Again, a Sam Keefe cover. And I always like Marvel Comics Presents because it has many different comic books. You can see some of the Sam Keefe artwork here. Peter David wrote this story, and I always like it because it has a variety of different characters in it. In this case, we also have a story of the Beast drawn by Jay Lee, no relation to Jim Lee. And then on the other side, we have a story of the Doctor Strange villain and other people. Marvel villain Nightmare is in here as well. I was gonna. Well, it'd be nice to show you a picture of Nightmare. Okay, here we are. That's Nightmare. Yeah. And then and then obviously I got two copies of 91, but we got we got in our Wolverine. We got Wolverine. We got Beast by Jay Lee, and then on the other side, they have Ghost Rider and Cable, and they have a story of Impossible Man. So usually they had like two main stories that were kind of headlining the comic book. But then, like you had like a B lister and a C lister and a D lister as the side characters. So Marvel Comics Presents is great because it had a variety of different story in characters that you would never read about otherwise. One of the things that you always see in here usually is like you have Wolverine Part 7, but you also have Beast Part 7 of 8. But then if you flip it, you got Ghost Rider Part 2 of 8, and then in a one shot Impossible Man story. So that means that like when your Wolverine story is done, your Ghost Rider story is not done. So you kind of, I guess you'd be forced to always buy this book if you want to read the complete story. But I still like the idea, and I wish that they had kept the series going. It just gives a chance to breathe life into some of the all the areas. Also, what's interesting with Marvel Comics Presents is that they didn't just, for example, Wolverine had his own title at the time, but they didn't just do like a Marvel Comics Presents that was just Marvel characters that weren't X Men, for example, because X Men had a lot of books. Wolverine headlined this title, so that partly to give it sales, I'm sure. But you had like you could have X Men characters, you could have Ghost Rider, you could have Excalibur, you could have um, even Spider Man, if it's a short story, might make an appearance. And then you have all the kinds of hundreds of characters that Marvel has as side characters. This is a fun book, Motormouth, Marvel UK. I would argue I want a Motormouth uh, Disney Plus show. Um, I think that the Marvel UK characters are really cool. They're a lot of fun. There are a lot of very cyberpunk characters for the most part, like Warheads and Kill Power and all these other ones. And Motormouth to me reminds me of like you could make her like a kind of like I wouldn't make her like Deadpool in the sense of like making her break the fourth wall. I hate that about Deadpool, to be honest with you. But I would make her like into like a British bad girl in a cyberpunk story, and but set in the modern day. But like like her villain is the fashion police. The fashion police. I mean, that's kind of cool. But you can make something cool with Motormouth. I think. I know that sounds silly, but that's my and Gary Frank did the artwork for this, and he went on to do like Superman with Jeff Johns and a lot of other cool stuff. Right now, he's on over at Image Comics with Ghost Machine. Firestar is the character who was part of the Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends, and this is by Tom DeFalco, a famous Marvel comics writer and editor, and Mary Wilshire. Mary Wilshire's artwork is excellent. She had recently, I recently read a Red Sonia book that was really well done as well that she drew. Um, but this is an excellent comic book. I really enjoyed it. But you can tell the condition's not that great, but who cares? I enjoy it. Punisher War Journal during a time where they introduced like a Punisher was supposed to be dead in quotation marks, and there's a female Punisher, and this book is excellent. Chuck Dixon did the art, did the story, and there's just some excellent ideas in terms of like new characters that they were playing around with. I don't really know whatever happened to the female Punisher and everything, but I thought this was a fun story. Uh, the Silver Sable I always loved as a character. She's more a Spider-Man villain or not villain, anti-hero adversary, I guess. And she's a mercenary from a fictional Russian country called Samekharia. But if you read it, like she has a moral code, and so in this one, she's fighting a televangelist. She's doing a job for a televangelist, but even though the televangelist, who's crooked by the way in this one, um, even though she's doing it for that person, because she knows she's crooked, she will make sure that that person doesn't get away with what they're doing. So she does have a moral code, even though she's in it for the money, but she's in it for the money to support her small country, and so this is the way she does it. It's really cool. Darkhold it was kind of interesting, and it's kind of, I would say, in the Ghost Rider section of the universe. Scott Witch appears in this issue, but I actually didn't mind this. I thought it was kind of interesting, something that I would normally not read. And then I guess I should have shown this before, but this is Punisher War Journal, and this is a fun issue. I like that cover, and basically it's kind of a done in one where Punisher he like is on the road. He's almost to Sault Ste. Marie, and well, he's on the American side, I guess. He's got off from Davenport, Iowa, but he's kind of in northern USA, not on it like kind of on the border where Canada and U.S. is, and near Upper Ontario, and then he basically is on the run, and he meets this beautiful chick who needs to hitchhike a ride, but she has a secret, and it's just a fun, cool story that would make a great episode of a Punisher TV show. Anyways, that's the cool stuff for today. Keep buying comic books, and till then, stay sweaty. Or take a shower.